Everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. I wanted to make this video for my business uh, uh, people out there. I started the Credit Repair Shop, and it only was helping business owners for a period of time. And then they started referring family and friends to me. And then that's what made me open it up for the general public. But this here is a merchant capital advance provider banned from industry order to redress small businesses. I've had a lot of small business owners in my area come to me because they had, you know, uh, got mixed up with one of these merchant cash advance providers. They also do this for invoice advances, and this I've seen really. I mean, I don't want to say it's for everybody, that it doesn't work for everybody, because obviously, if the business is working, it works for some people. But I can tell you that every business owner that has came to me that have went for these types of merchant cash advances, they were like, it was the worst thing that they had ever done. And let me tell you the reason why. Is because they're taking money out of their account on a daily basis. Now, with this one here, uh, and it don't think that this does not pertain to you if you don't own a business, because what something that they did in here was where they actually made them personally guarantee, and the strategy, whoa, I don't know what that was, strategy that they used for making individuals sign on the personal guarantee was they did what's called a confession of judgment. And I'm going to go into that when we get to that point here. But so here it is. So they have been doing this stuff since 2015. They just finished with what they're doing with the I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought because people are texting me even here on Sunday, getting some text. But they just worked out everything with the lawsuit, and I guess they were, figuring out what all customers would be able to get some type of compensation. And then it looks like they gave them a chance to kind of clean up their act, and then they didn't. And now they just said, hey, you're just banned from doing business. But I want to talk about this part right here. So it said that they were requiring personal guarantees and upfront fees from consumers after representing they would not make these demands, providing less funding. And then it says providing less funding to consumers than promised, which in their advertisements they might have said we're going to give you $100,000, but it was really like $10,000 or $50,000, let's just say half. And then by debiting more from consumers' bank accounts than they said they would do. Now, I'm going to tell you from what my clients, my business clients who own restaurants, because they go after people who have a lot of cash coming in on a daily basis. So, one of my associates that has multiple restaurants, he got stuck with this. I had to help him get out of it. One had cell phone stores, had to help him get out of it. Another one had different convenience stores, had to help him get out of it. And there's other ones too, but those three just come to mind. So what they do, this is the whole thing on why this works, and I'm going to relate this to regular loans, because when it comes down to it, they are not giving people loans, lending them money based on their business. Partially it is, but they're still taking them into the personal guarantee section, which ends up being, if they default on it, it ends up being a personal credit issue, not on the business. As a matter of fact, all of them, when they ran into problems on their personal side, everything on the business side was just able to run as normal, because they don't get, vendors don't judge you the same way. But when these guys, what they do is they want to get into your personal, and then they're using certain types of contracts to try to make it to where it's like you're trapped. And the FTC said that it was illegal for them to do it that way. So let's continue right here. The agency also alleges that the defendants made unauthorized withdrawals from consumers. They have to do this because let me tell you, that when I looked at the financials on these merchant capital advances, these companies, they barely make any money and they have investors. The reason why there's so much stress on this industry from the side of the lender is that they are under stress from these investors. These are like straight up hard money lenders. Even if it's a bank, they're straight up hard money type lenders. They're like, I want to make money on a daily basis because what they're doing, these merchant capital advance companies, what they're doing is they're going out there to people who have money sitting on the sideline, especially in today's with what's going on with the stock market. Those individuals don't want to put it in real estate, or maybe they do put it in real estate and they're like trying to find something else that can get them higher returns. So what they'll do is they'll say, okay, I want to put some, I want to put $500,000 on the street. That's what I call it, on the street. Because when you see what they do to people, you'll see why it's like putting it on the street. So they'll say, hey, I want to put $500,000 on the street. And they say, you can put that $500,000 on the street and we're going to get you like 10% not on a yearly basis, we're going to get you a 10% on a monthly basis, maybe even 20%. They want to, they're selling on one side to get the money, and then they're selling on the other side to get the business owner to borrow the money, and then the whole thing is to get money from that business owner on a daily basis. I'm telling you that some of my business that ended up with this, they felt like they were like slave. You know where they say slave to the lender. They literally felt like slaves to the lender because every day they had to make a certain amount of money that was going to take care of all of their bills, their expenses for workers, pay the payroll to workers, the re-upping supplies for the restaurant, uh, and then they knew that money was going to come out of their account, and exactly what the FTC is stating right here is what happened to the business owners, is that they made unauthorized withdrawals. And let me tell you why they do that: because they want to catch it before the business owner can do anything. These people are not crazy. They know that a business owner might say, hey, I can't do it today, I'm going to put some money in another account and I need to re-up my supplies with that money. Y'all can wait. They know that that game gets pulled. So what they'll do is they'll just click in for ACH, and this is the only way that they do it. They do ACH. That's the only way that they'll approve these businesses. And then they'll ACH their account. And also with ACH accounts is they rarely get sent back unless you have multiple ACHs that you don't have the money in your account for. So they know this. And so they end up taking the money, and you look at right here, it says unauthorized withdrawals from consumer accounts. And then they use collection practices, including the threatening. Remember I said putting that money on the street? Threatening physical violence, because their person who they got that money from is a hard money lender, and they want to get their money, they want to get their percentages. They don't necessarily want their money back. They want to get, excuse me, what was promised to them on a monthly basis. And the only way that these lenders are going to be able to do it is to threaten physical violence, to make sure they'd say, hey, I'm going to come down to your location and get the money. You better pay us up. This is not my words. This is what the FTC said that they were doing. And there are other companies that are doing this right now. And then, in addition, the FTC alleged that the defenders illegally weaponized a confession of judgment. Now, what is a confession of judgment? A confession of judgment is something, this is crazy when you think about this. They're making the individual personally sign a confession of judgment so they don't have to go all the way through the process of the courts to get a judgment. They're already setting it up for a default judgment because they're like, you sign a confession of judgment, You messed up on this. You should not even have to sign anything like that. Business is business. We're not talking about failure until failure happens. So they made people sign a confession of judgment, the contractual terms which allows the defendant to pursue consumers' personal assets in court and obtain uncontested, what did I just say? Uncontested judgments against them. This is absolutely crazy. Now, let's talk about this on a personal side. I see stuff like this right now with businesses. I believe that debt collectors will also, that go after consumers, will actually start trying to slip something like this in, and they won't be the one who does it. The lenders are going to be the ones who might try to do this. They're going to try to say, not the debt collectors per se, this will be original creditors. Original creditors, because a debt collector technically cannot do a confession of judgment. This will be the original creditor. I foresee a day I foresee a day, and if you've been watching my videos and you know I've been doing this, about to be with the credit repair shop company getting ready to get to 20 years. I've seen a lot, and I can foresee things and these are like strategies in the future for debt collectors. Well, when I say debt collectors, original creditors that use a debt collection company, because a debt collection company cannot do this. So let's just say you want to get a personal loan. You know that you are a subprime borrower, and we see that when you are subprime, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they get away with. I mean, we saw Santander, we see it with credit acceptance, we see it with the payday lending companies, we see it with this company right here. I predict in the future that original creditors for the terms for subprime lenders, they will start to try to slip in some sort. It may not be worded this way, but they're going to try to slip in of some sort a confession of judgment, which will allow them to to obtain uncontested judgments against the individuals who take out loans. Mark my words on it. They will figure out a strategy to try to use it. And I'm already up on this and doing my homework and making sure that if I see contracts and I see anything that's similar to this, that I will start alerting you right away. So I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to get that out there to the business people, and it had that good information about confession of judgments for individuals who don't own a business, because look at what it's doing. It's going after their personal assets. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process for repairing credit. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com. Links are below this video. If you have debt collectors coming after you, third-party debt collectors, grab my 3 letters. Statute of limitations letter, which is for debt that is past legal statute of limitations for your state. My cease and that's my cease and desist collection activities letter, which is a letter that you send to any debt collector that is trying to come after you for a debt that is not past the legal statute of limitations. And my debt validation letter, which is the back and forth letter that you would use if the debt collector continues to try to come after you after you have asked them to cease all collection activities. Thank you for your time. Please like this video. Please share, comment. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.